Hello everyone and welcome back to Coloring with Haley. We are ready for spring over here. I don't know about you guys, February was very cold and we got a lot of ice. Not snow, just ice. So I've already broke out the spring background and I've got my little bunny and my little duck out as well for decoration. And I got these at Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago, but I do still see them at Hobby Lobby. Today we are going to take a look at my finished pages for the month, and I don't have that many. This month was Froggy February, but unfortunately I did not get to do as many frog pages as I wanted. This month was just so busy and overwhelming for me, and I talked about that a lot in my recent color and chat. So if you missed that, you can go see and kind of get an explanation of what went wrong this month. But without further ado, we will take a look at all of my finished pages. So to start out, I colored a few Valentine's Day pages this month in My Gothic Valentine by Deborah Muller. So first we have this page here, which that's the cover, isn't it? Yes. And this was a buddy color with Misty. She and I did a lot of buddy colors in Deborah Muller's books this month. And I will make sure to leave a link down to her YouTube down below, Country Gals Coloring Place. I'm very happy with how this one turned out. I didn't want it to turn out too much like the cover, but I do like to use dark colors in this book since it's like a goth Valentine. However, I can say I didn't really know what to do up here. There was a lot going on up there, almost a little bit too much for me. So I didn't color the background just because there was so much going on elsewhere. But I did use my white gel pen to do the ruffles on her shirt here, and I outlined this as well. And I used glitter on some of the heart decorations up there at the top, and on her eye patch and the eye patch on the little bear as well. So that's the first one. Misty and I also colored this page together. This was a really fun one too. I don't think I've done too many like rainy pages. And again, I kept with the dark colors. One thing I will say about this Signo Uniball gel pens, I noticed that when I lay them down, they are white, but after a couple of days, they do take up the color of the ink behind the page, whereas my Posca paint pens don't tend to do that. I'm going to hold this up rather close to the camera, and you can see that the white has kind of turned a pinkish color. So that's something to keep in mind about those. I'll probably go back to using my Posca pens for dark colors like that. I think it wouldn't show too bad on a light color. But yeah, I just used a lot of dark colors on this, tried to keep in theme with the whole goth thing, and some of the heart-shaped rain is glittery, not all of it, there's just a few, and she has some glittery accents on her dress. And then I did a page in here at the very beginning of the month on my own. I did this one, and I actually colored the background on this one. Unusual, but I didn't do the frame. I don't know why I decided not to do the frame. I just decided not to, I guess. But here's this one. I did pink and green, and I don't know how I feel about this one. It's sort of like a weird optical illusion going on here with this picture. Let me get my card out. So the green color that I used is this mint green right down here, and I used that on her dress. But it doesn't quite look like the same color as it does on the card, and I think that's because the pink beside it is creating some sort of optical illusion that makes the color look a little darker. And I didn't really like how that turned out. I wanted it to be that lighter green, but it looks a little darker here. But oh well, I did use the gel pens to do the lace here on her hat, and that one didn't take up the color of the ink, so I think it's just darker colors that it really does it with. Because you get it down here with the red on the lollipop. And just a little bit of glitter right there on that bow and on her eyes. So that was that book, and I did one more Valentine's Day page, just a few. Valentine's Day isn't a super big holiday for me. I did a page out of 50 Romantic Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. I intended to do more on this book, but I just didn't get to. I did this page with the bees, and you know what? I forgot to post this on Instagram. This was for Kits and Caboodle's coloring tag Alphabet Color 2022 B, because they are bees, or you could say they're bugs, but I absolutely just forgot to post this over on Instagram. But here is the page. I did a rainbow flower because I couldn't decide on what color to do the flower, and I'm not a person that really typically does rainbow stuff, so this is a bit unusual for me, but I am happy with how it turned out. And I did the shading on this with just water-based Crayola markers like I do. My bee's wings have been done with Posca paint pens, just to judge them up a little bit, make them look a little fancy rather than do them in glitter like I wanted to. Because I did use glitter on the hearts on the inside, or at least some of them. You can see some of them catching the light there. So that's that page there. And then we go to Sci-Fi Babes. And we have a Cindy Circuit, who I did in green because it was Froggy February, and I was thinking about green a lot. So Cindy Circuit is green. And she is 24 computer years old. She lives in a computer, and it says don't look into her eyes. So that's very interesting. Here she is. She's rather simple. It was more of a simple page. Not a whole lot going on with her, really. But that's Cindy Circuit, and the circuit board there on her black mask is done in glitter. And by the way, the mask was already black. I didn't choose to make it black. It was that way. I just went over it with a black marker because sometimes when you get the black printing from Amazon, it's not like super solid black. That's my only complaint with a few of the images in this book. Something like that I could have chose to do in another color, but since it was already black, you know, I kind of had to keep with that theme. But that's Cindy Circuit. Next up is Coco Wyo's Kawaii Animals coloring book. I did a page in here for Froggy February. This page, there is a whole lot going on, and I'm not sure what's going on exactly. I thought at first when I got this out to color that it was pets. But then we get to this guy over here, who I think is a koala bear? I made it a koala bear. And, you know, that's not exactly a pet. Hamster, bunny, frog, kitty, sure. But this guy, I don't know. So I think it's just a random jumble of animals more than anything. And my gray marker died on me while I was coloring the kitty, so I just kind of used a darker pen and made an edge there. So he's like a little gray and white cat instead of just a solid gray cat, which I actually think it did work out. I did do the shading over the top with the water-based markers once again. And there's the little frog. You can see him. And someone commented on Instagram that the hamster looked like Hamtaro, and that was totally the inspiration for the hamster. And some of the paw prints are different colors of glitter gel pen, just to add a little bit more interest to this kind of crazy, chaotic little page. Next up, I have a page out of this very tiny little Dover Activity Stained Glass coloring book, and it is a frog, of course, as you can see from the title. And let me see what species it is. It says on the back. It's a giant tree frog. And let me see if I have something that I can put behind this. Yeah, I do. That would be a little more solid so you can see the picture better. These are a little weird to color on with markers, in my opinion. The markers are always streaky. I think it's just because of the very odd texture of the paper. It's something in between normal paper and like the premium Amazon paper is almost what I'd call it. If you guys have any of the stained glass books, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a very weird paper, but here is my giant tree frog. I do try to color these exactly like the species of frog that is represented, and there's just a little tiny list right here on the back, and that's what I go off of. But that one, you know, took me like 5 minutes to do. Nothing big. So next up is, of course, Space Girls and Aliens, because Misty and I are trying to complete this book this year. We did this one at very beginning of the month. And I'm very, very happy with how this page turned out. I actually did the background on this one, and that's a little unusual for me. She is my scorpion lady. I just couldn't imagine her being any other color than yellow, and because her shirt says she loved Mars, I like to imagine she's on Mars, and Mars is the red planet, so I did the background in red. And I actually did a little bit of outlining on this, too. Just her hair, her tail, you know, her outfit. Just felt like it on this picture. I don't always do it with my Deborah Muller pictures, just whenever the mood strikes me, really. But I am absolutely in love with this page. It might be my favorite one I've done so far. There is white gel pen to do these highlights on her body. I've used it to do her pants down here, and the little laser gun type thing she's got, and the ring around this planet here, and there is glitter. It's on the eye in this pyramid. It's in some of the stars. And I don't think it'll show up on camera because it's such a thin strip, but there is some over her eyes as well. But this is a really cute page, and I'm happy with how it turned out. We did this page next, just 2 back to back. And this one is one of the space girls rather than an alien, but she has landed on a foreign planet. She's got her little USA rocket over here. And she's super nice and shiny with a bunch of highlights on her. I didn't add these myself. Deborah does have like black lines that I always cover up to make highlights. She's the one who highlighted this area in particular. I just did the white pen on them. But I do think she looks nice. I did her in red, white, and blue colors just because the rocket over here said USA. And I was like, well, she's come from the United States. Why not do her in United States colors? So that's how this page has turned out. The highlights are on her, over here on the rocket, and down on her outfit as well. And there's a little bit of glitter on her outfit here, on the rocket, and on these, I don't know if they're meteors. They're not quite shooting stars. There's something there in space that's traveling around. I did the tails of them like that. Maybe a comet? But those are the 2 pages that Misty and I did together. And then I had someone else that wanted to do a buddy color with me, and Misty had already colored this page. We kind of are both at an equal point in the book where we had previously colored some pages, and this was one that she had done. So I decided to do this page with Felicia's Cozy Coloring over on Instagram. My first time coloring a page with her, and this was really, really fun to do. It is the cover page, of course, and I didn't want it to look exactly like the cover page, but with her being scaly and all, I did think of her as like a lizard alien. So she is done in green, and Felicia's page is beautiful. You should check it out over on Instagram. It turned out really fantastic, and I'm happy with how mine turned out. Again, I don't usually do backgrounds, and there was sort of enough already going on to me that I didn't have to color the rest of it in. But there is glitter on the little moon here. The shooting stars are trailed by glitter. Her eyeshadow's glitter. So is the earrings, her fingernails. She's just kind of all glittered up. And I did the peace sign necklace with the white gel pen, but that's it for the white gel pen on this page. I did use a little bit of paint to do the ring around Saturn here. But that was really fun to do. Next up are some more Froggy February pages from 50 Jungle Miniatures. By far the book that had the most frog pages in it that I marked. This first one is how I kicked off the month, and I saw a lot of people doing this page. This one was super cute, so I totally understand why. And I tried to do this one in my new pastel markers, and I love how it turned out. Of course, with the outlining and shading in the Crayola Super Tips. These are my 2 frogs. They look like they are gossiping there on their lily pads, and I did those butterflies just in glitter. But yes, I'm very, very happy with how this page turned out. I did a lot of highlighting on the frogs in white. I tried to make them look very highlighted, you know, like they had been in the water. They would be kind of shiny and everything. And yes, I'm very happy with how this page turned out. Super, super cute page. And then I did the Poison Dart Frog Leapfrog page here. They're over the turtle. And I'm very happy with how this one turned out as well. Did some different colors for the frogs here because I was thinking about poison dart frogs with the spots on their back, which of course come in a lot of colors. Again, I used the Crayola Super Tips to do a little bit of the shading on this picture, and I actually used glitter on this one to do the ripples in the water rather than use a paint pen, just for something a little different, and you can kind of see it down there in the water when I turn the page a little bit. But I did use the paint pen to do the highlighting on everyone here, and then I outlined the water itself in a Posca pen, just because it looks better to me than the sharp black outline. But I am very happy with how this page turned out, and surprisingly I didn't see too many people do this page. Everyone did the first one. Next up I have 2 pages in Country Life Color by Colors. This has kind of become the book that I color in when I want to color, but I don't exactly know what I want to color. I just turn to here and I'll color a little bit of a page. And then when I've decided, oh, I want to color in this book, I'll back to it. And then come back to this when I don't know. So I got 2 pages finished this month. And they're always a little hard to show on camera because they are so reflective since they are that nice Amazon paper. But the first one here is this boy milking the cow. Let me try to hold it in such a way that it's not too reflective. These pages are always so colorful, and I really like that about them. And I do use nothing but Sharpies and Bic markers in this book. That's what I like to use on all of my color by numbers, and they always turn out really nice. Some people say that they have a little bit of trouble with patchiness, in which my cow's a little patchy because that marker was running dry on me. But you can see how solid the rest of it is. And I think that if you are using alcohol markers on this paper, they do turn out a little patchy. It just kind of sucks the markers dry so badly on this style of paper. But the Bic markers and the Sharpie markers are not alcohol markers. They're permanent markers. They use a different mixture in the marker, and some people have asked me, you know, how they look so smooth, and I believe that's why. Because I am kind of a slow colorer. I don't color fast enough, you know, that there wouldn't be patchiness on this if it was like a normal page on regular Amazon paper. I believe it has to do with the composition of Sharpies and Bic markers versus like your Caliart and Ohuhu style markers. That is just my theory right now, though. If anyone knows, you know, an actual more scientific answer to that, let me know. And then I did this very springtime page here with the birds and the birdhouse. And I really like how this one turned out. This one is very colorful. I love the little birdhouses. They're so bright and colorful. And this one used like almost every single color that Kira has available. I like it when she does that. I like it when the artist who makes the color by number books uses every single color that they have, but it doesn't seem like too much. It doesn't seem overwhelming, you know? This just makes a very nice homogeneous picture, and I love how it turned out. Next up, oop, that's gonna fall, hang on. There we go. I got the Country Chibis book by Alexandra Franzese, or Franzese. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. But I did get a page done out of here. I did this little girl with the strawberries, and I'm super happy with how this turned out. This book has a little bit of very light grayscaling on it, and I kind of just use that as a guide for my own shading. It's so light that if you use a darker marker, it's, you know, it's not going to show up. The pastel markers it'll show through, but anything more than that, it'll get eaten up. So I do use it just as a guide for shading. And these are rather simple images without a full background, so I like that. I don't feel the need to add a background. This was just Ohuhu markers, and that's it. I didn't even do any paint or any glitter on this one. But I am very happy with how it turned out. And last but not least is probably my absolute favorite page that I colored this month, and maybe one of my favorites for the whole year. I don't really know. I did a page out of Faces in the Forest by Jen Racine, which is one of my very few Jen Racine books. Of course, I did the cover page here with the frog, because it is Froggy February. That was what I did a color and chat for, and here it is. I colored it to look like myself holding a frog, and I think it turned out magnificent. I used some of my favorite colors on the flowers. I did my own hair color. I did a bunch of different greens for the leaves, and then the frog. The only gel pen or paint on here is the highlights on the frog, and then the white dots on these flowers here. There's no glitter, nothing extra, and it just turned out, I don't know, just exactly like I pictured in my head. You know, it just came out so fantastic, even though there was a little bit of a snafu with the marker I used on the face, which I talked about in that color and chat. Oof, sorry there, my voice went away for a minute. Been talking for so long. But yeah, I'm just thrilled with this page. It just turned out exactly the way I wanted it to. Definitely going to have to get some more in this book because this book is just so stunning. Those are all of my colored pages for this month. And I will show you my journal now, but I'm going to warn you that it is a little bit all over the place because, like I said, this month was not super productive. So, it was February. And, well, it didn't quite flip there. Hang on. There we go. And I participated in Froggy February, Valentine's Day, and the Alphabet Color 2022B, which, like I said, I totally forgot to upload to Instagram. My goals were to complete all the tabs I had for Froggy February, and I did not get that done. I did do 2 Valentine's Day pages that weren't frog related, and I did do another YouTuber's tag, and I filmed the videos I wanted for this month. But here is what the actual calendar layout looks like. All over the place. You can see how much of February was just blank and empty because I was just so busy and so darn tired that I didn't have the time to do anything. So unfortunately, yeah, very empty, very blank. Hopefully March is going to be better. I still got a decent amount of pages done, I think, personally, for the amount of time that I had. And also, this whole row up here is somehow off by a day. Not quite sure how. I think I did 2 pages in a day, but I accidentally put the second page I did in a different day rather than putting it in the same day. And so it was off by a day, and it's fixed when it gets down to Wednesday the 9th. But that's my spread of pages for this month. Not too many, and very, very spread out because I was busy. But thank you guys so much for watching my flip through. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're ready for spring. And I also wanted to say a very big thank you to everyone that participated in Froggy February. I loved seeing everyone's pages, and I did not think so many people would join in on the tag. It made me very, very happy this month and uplifted me a little bit through a harder month to see everyone picking and coloring their frog pages. I do have a compilation video coming whenever I get the time to get it all together. So that will be out soon. You will see your pages in there. Just, yeah, thank you so much to everyone that participated in the tag. I had so much fun hosting it, and I'm thinking of making it an annual tag. So we may have Froggy February again next year. Anyways, thank you so much for watching.